Hello, my name's Shane. Welcome to the Cup Night channel. Today I'm going to share a message that has just been heavily on my mind today. It's definitely one for myself as well, so hopefully you can find something useful out of this. Oh. This guy has a message too. It was kind of raining, so it might start raining, but let's get on with it. So today, the main message I have to share is use what you have. Stop waiting for something better to come along to get started on whatever it is that you want to get started on, and use what you have. Start small if you have to, as small as you possibly can make it, you know. You may think you don't have the materials, but you know, in some cases that may be true, but what can you do to prepare yourself for when you do have the materials, for when you do have what you think you need in order to make it, you know, perfect and magical. And that's the other thing. Heavy Capricorn energy coming through here today. You know, climbing the mountain, charging through. Speaking of mountains, I am out here in somewhere in beautiful Colorado. Got this gorgeous view that I am privy to up here. Couldn't be more grateful. I love coming up here. It's just the air is so clean, and yeah, it feels amazing out here right now. Thankfully, we have these clouds. It's been very hot recently. Anyway, so yeah, use what you got. So that was kind of sticking in my mind this morning, and as I came up here to the top of this area out here, I looked around and I thought, well, what is the most abundant thing out here? And it's actually this plant right here. Let's see, yeah, there we go. It is called the common mullein, or mullein, Mullein. Not really sure how to pronounce it, but it's everywhere. It is everywhere out here. Yeah. And turns out it's has a rich cultural history, as most plants do. All you got to do is, you know, pull on that thread and see what comes out. So I did look into this a little bit. I was interested in, you know, astrologically, what is this plant associated with? I'll just sit down next to it here while I talk about it. It is associated primarily with Saturn. Some people also associate it with Mercury and Mars. So yeah, Capricorn energy, huh? Saturn. We'll go with that. It's also associated with the element of fire. It's known as the candlewick plant. Whenever they get older, they kind of turn into these like burnt looking sticks, like this. This one here, I'm not sure if you can see that. Yeah, there you go. There's more of them over here. Let's go this way. Yeah, you can kind of see them all along. There's a big one right there. There's a couple that have fallen over. But yeah, I guess the Romans, go back to this one. The Romans used to use them as like torches. And they kind of look like a torch, right? Like the shaft in the middle there just goes straight up, and yeah, it kind of looks like the perfect little torch. The leaves, some people will call them cowboy toilet paper. They're very soft. You can kind of, maybe you can hear that. It's a very, very soft texture. Yeah, medicinally, they were used for primarily respiratory health issues. So if you had trouble breathing, or you had a cough, you had a lot of mucus, asthma, bronchitis, sore throats, common colds, you can turn these into, you can turn the leaves and the flowers into teas, tinctures, and syrups. And those can be used for healing purposes. People would also crush the leaves and make poultices that you can put on wounds to heal like minor injuries and stuff like that. They do have like antibacterial properties. Scientifically speaking, they're considered expectorants, which means they help expel mucus from the body. And they contain a gel-like substance called mucilage, which is an agent that helps soothe irritated mucous membranes in the throat, the lungs, and the bronchial passages. So yeah, and the only reason I'm talking about this is because, well, one, plants are fascinating, and it's always fun to share, the things I learn. I just learned all this today. Thanks, internet. So, yeah, it's interesting. You look around, and all of a sudden you realize you're like drowning in a wealth of cultural heritage that has always been there, but maybe you've never really realized that it was there all along, right? So, what is around you that you're not realizing? What is there right in front of you that you're not taking advantage of? What can you use in your immediate surroundings that is so abundant to just get started on something, Yeah, sit with that question. That's really what was weighing heavy on my heart to share with everybody today. So I'm gonna walk back over to my vehicle here, and I've got some tarot cards and some wild unknown archetype cards that I'm gonna pull from just to get a little bit more from spirit, see what else needs to come through. So let's see. And I got this. There we go. That works. That's good enough. Okay. Yeah. So while I shuffle the tarot cards here, the other thing I want to talk about, the association with Saturn is interesting for this plant that I've noticed, because it is currently July 29th. The 29th is the day that I am recording this. And 29 is actually very relevant to Saturn because, the Saturn return, if you haven't heard of it, it's when Saturn comes back around to the position that it was at when you were born. It's a very big event astrologically. It's like, basically, it's a passage from, your younger self into your mature adult years. It's the gateway into maturity, some people say. It comes with a lot of challenges, typically. It's not easy. Saturn, he's the taskmaster, the gatekeeper, right? He brings in, or she, there's feminine and masculine elements to Saturn, but Saturn brings in challenges. It digs up things and makes you confront yourself, the parts of you that you haven't been working on or you've been ignoring. It kind of throws all that in your face, and you kind of have to face it and deal with it. So it's interesting that, I find this plant that is primarily associated with Saturn on the 29th day of July, and just the number 29 kind of sticking out like a sore thumb to me there. So lots of earth energy, earth and fire today. How does that show up? How is that showing up in your life? What earthy and fiery things are present in your life, and what are they saying to you? All right, Spirit, what else do we need to know related to this use what you got message? Oh, all right. So we've got the Two of Pentacles showing up here. You can see there, the Pentacles, some earth energy popping out. We got some balancing going on here, some juggling, maybe even some play. Playing with concepts, playing with the polarities of something. Having fun. Maybe your environment is a little unstable right now and you just need to have some fun. I definitely have been feeling that a lot lately. I've gone through a lot of changes recently. Moved to a different state, quit my job that was very stable and secure, and now I'm, right now, kind of just doing this, talking to a camera and sharing my little insights that I'm having, and hoping that somebody who needs to hear it gets to hear it. But I'm having fun with it too. I've learned that recently, is that I need more of this, definitely. So this is a huge message for myself as well. Gotta have fun with it, you know? Gotta have fun. On the bottom here, we have the Nine of Swords. So yeah, we definitely want to stay away from this, right? We don't want that anxiety, that like endless mental pattern that just won't leave you alone, keeps you up at night, all your worries, you know. We want to get away from that. We need more of this. We need more fun. And this can also be talking about decisions too. Um, so once again, this juggler here on the card, he's using what he has. You know, he only has 2 pentacles, but here he is playing with them. You know, um, and making a good time out of it. Just getting started. Yeah. Let's see what else comes out here. I don't know if you can hear, but the thunder is getting more intense out there. Doesn't seem to be like sprinkling anymore, but yeah. Aha! Oh, look at that. More earth energy. The Ace of Pentacles arrives. Once again, this is this is that card of opportunity seemingly out of nowhere, right? But given, to this message that I've already started with today, I think this is more of a look around. What is already there? What has already been provided from spirit that is already in your environment? I mean, look at this beautiful landscape in the background here. That kind of matches what's behind me. Yeah, what has already been given to you that you're just you're not looking at? You're overlooking. There is so much abundance around us. There's so much that we take for granted, especially this day and age. We have access to a lot of things that make our life easier. We, maybe even reflecting on how hard just the everyday things that you take for granted used to be for people like 20 years ago, even. Could be enlightening for you. What technologies are out there now that you can take advantage of? Easily accessible technologies that are just so prevalent. What can you do with them? For me, I'm sitting here talking to my phone. Hoping that, something will come of this. I don't know. We'll see. I don't know where it's going to go, but it's fun and I enjoy doing it. So, yeah. Gratitude also, that is coming through with this whole use what you got message, right? It's being grateful for what you already have. Kind of embodying that vibe of I have enough, I am enough, I can do it. Yeah, because it's true. It is true. You are where you are meant to be. We got the Page of Swords coming here. All right, so we got some clouds rolling in behind him. The sky is kind of completely covered in clouds behind me already, but yeah, this is communication, right? This is a fresh new energy, a page. You're getting a page. Something is paging you, a message coming in. I have been picking up on this a lot recently for myself, and just out there. So I do think there's some fresh new energy coming in, and this kind of goes back to the number 29, today being the 29th again, and Saturn. Saturn's orbital period is about 29 years, Saturn's return. But 29 in Western tropical astrology is also, it's the very last degree. They call it the anaretic degree because there's 30 degrees in each sign, which doesn't match what how big the constellations actually are, by the way. Yeah, I've been getting into true sky astrology recently, and it's interesting. I do think there is still value in Western tropical and sidereal astrology, but the learning about the minor differences between them is very interesting. So if that tickles your ear at all, definitely look into true sky astrology. But we're going to talk about the 29th degree in relation to this Page of Swords, because the anaretic degree is a culminating degree. It is the final degree of a sign before it shifts into the next sign. So there's, it starts at 0 and it goes all the way to 29, so that makes 30, because if you're starting at 0, just like in computer science, you don't start with, a lot of them don't start with 1, they start with 0, and you count up. So if you go from 0 to 29, that's 30 degrees. And then the next one would be the 0 degree of, say we're moving from Aries to Taurus, then the 29th degree of Aries leads to the 0 degree of Taurus. So culminations, yeah, fresh beginnings, fresh communications related to those fresh beginnings, right? The start of something new, yeah. And hopefully you're having fun with whatever this is. So culminations can be intense. Endings, they can bring some grief, some heavy feelings, but also the fresh energy that's coming in right after the storm, the rainbow after the storm, can also be really cool. Hold on, I think I have a card in here that's like flipped over. I keep seeing flashes of yellow. Let's see what that is. Okay, no, I'm just going crazy, I guess. But at least I'm having fun doing it. Yeah, so anyway, yeah, the 29th anaretic degree. So something's culminating. Oh, look at that. The Four of Wands popped out. I knew I was seeing something yellow. Yeah, look at that. So this is celebrations. It could be like a coming home party or a going away party, a marriage, or just a party for party's sake, 1111 there with those pillars, that's that wish number. You see 1111 back in elementary school, all the kids used to freak out when they'd see 1111 on the clock and everybody would make a wish. Yeah, I love that. That's fun. So make a wish. Something good's coming in. Yeah, something to celebrate, have a good time with. Hey, Cup Knight showing up there. Shout out to the Knight of Cups, channel namesake there. Yeah. Love, messages from the heart, I think. That's Cup Knight to me. Offering you this cup, this energy flowing from deep inside of me that I don't even really fully understand myself, but I feel like moved to speak on it and share it with you. Okay, let's get one more. Let's see, what's one more card we can contemplate in using what we got? What do we got, Spirit? Oh my gosh, it almost fell off. The Star. Yeah, the Star card. Oh, you know what? Sorry, YouTube. There we go. Gotta censor the card there. You didn't see that before, right? Okay, cool. Yeah, so there's the Star card. This is a card of healing, a card of wishes. That's like I was saying, 1111, make a wish. One of the wish fulfillment cards in the tarot, Wish Upon a Star. This is, there's a lot of healing energy in here with Aquarius. We've got, the water bearer pouring out the healing waters on the earth. Yeah. Love to see it. I don't really know. I'm kind of struggling to think of what it would relate to in this message. I think it's basically just saying that you are the star already. Yeah, of course that's what it's saying. You are a star already with everything that you have. You have enough. You are enough. If you don't know what your message is or what it is you need to share, go within. Because, that light is inside. Sometimes it's deep inside, buried underneath the layers and layers and layers of lies that you've been told by others, by the world at large, to yourself even. So sometimes you you got to do some heavy work, some digging before you can see what those messages are, what that light is. But it is there, it is within you, and it leaks out, through all the cracks. Um, yeah, it's how the water gets in, right? I mean, once again, on this star card, she is here. Let me self censor there. She is pouring out water onto the earth and into the pond there, or the lake. So that water, we'll focus on the earth here since we got this heavy Capricorn Saturn energy coming through today. That water, it's trickling down through the earth, deep down, to the darkest depths, to be purified. Well, one, to be used, right, by the earth for all the plants, the mullein, all the common mullein that's around, the common mullein and the bull thistle. It is being utilized, and that which keeps trickling down makes it through the layers of sediment and rock, and it's purified, and then it's brought back up from the springs deep beneath the earth and flowing back out through the rivers, through the creeks, maybe eventually making it to the ocean. Who knows how many journeys that even a single molecule of water has been on, how many crevices it's been through. But yeah, it's those cracks in those layers that allow in the moisture, the water, the life-giving elements in order to rehydrate us and to allow that to flow back out. So there's another message there. What are you taking in? What is it that you're taking in, and how is it affecting you? Because what you consume, you are what you eat, as they say, and that's not just about food. It's about content too. It's about the way you process the food that you're eating as well. What is your mental state? And I do believe this is true of actually eating your meals as well. Like, what mental state are you in when you're eating your food? You will process the food, you'll digest it better if you're in a good mood, if you're calm, if you're not upset while you're eating. Same thing for the content. If you're in a calm, centered state while you're digesting something, it's going to reach you better. And the processing that you're doing with that information is going to be more critical, more discerning, because you are in a centered kind of state, right? So think about that whenever you're, if you're watching this video right now. How are you? How do you feel? What are you getting from this, if anything at all? I hope you are getting something. I feel like it's a good message. I mean, I like this message. It's one that I needed to hear, that's for sure. King of Cups on the bottom. So talking about those emotions, we had to get all the elements in there today, I guess. We've covered water, earth, fire, and air. So if you're going through a rough time, if something's coming to an end, if a bunch of things are all right, how it goes. It's like, when it rains, it pours, they say. There's nothing, and then all of a sudden the sky falls out. Everything seems to happen all at once. The culmination, the big climax right before the end, and then peace, new beginnings, calm, fresh starts. So if things are feeling dark, maybe grab yourself some spent common mullein, those dark sticks. Make yourself a torch and light the way. All right, let's get a closing message from the archetypes here. Once again, this is the Wild Unknown archetype energy. This is like the pocket edition. They're very small. I like it because I can put them in my bag and carry them around with me. Play with them whenever I feel like it. But let's see, what archetypal energies will assist us in this message today, Spirit. Thank you for bringing forth this message today, and for everyone that has come forth to hear it. yeah. You know, sometimes we just need to be reminded of things we already knew, too. Alright. I'm going to give it one more shuffle. Does anything want to pop out here? Doesn't seem like it. Alright, so we're going to cut it and draw one. Let's see what we got. Perfect. The Eternal Child. Yes. Yeah, look at that card. Yes, it's the number 4. Yep, associated with the number 4 here. So we got some stability associated with this Eternal Child energy, the sun there at the center of the card, the bright illuminating light of youth and fresh energy and eternal joy. This is a card of play, you know? It goes back to what I was saying earlier. You need to have fun. Have fun. It's okay if things get crazy, you know? You can control your reaction to it. You can balance. Once again, Two of Pentacles is all about balance as well. Even throughout, you know, tumultuous environments and everything that's going on out in the external world, you still have the ability to control yourself and to tap into the joy that is deep within the center of yourself, the inner child deep within. You know, got to get that light inside. This little light of mine, I'm going to let it shine. Yeah, it's there. It's there in all of us. So that's a great reminder that you got to use what you got. And that light is the most powerful thing. You just got to tap into it, right? We all have this light. We all have access to this light. We were all children at some point in our lives. We've had that experience of what it feels like to be a child and experience childlike joy, right? So this is, connect with that energy again. It's there. It's there. You have to dig for it, but it's there. So thank you, Spirit, for that message. I hope that you watching have been able to take something from this. Thank you for listening to me, for joining me out here in the natural, beautiful, stormy Colorado. It's so hard for me to say that. I growing up, I always call it Colorado, but everyone here is like, no, it's Colorado. Rado. The land of red rocks. I found out that's what it means the other day. Colorado means it means red rocks or land of red rocks, something like that. But yeah, beautiful state, beautiful day today, beautiful message from Spirit. Thank you. Take care of yourself. Find that inner child. Have some fun. Be excited about what's coming in next. And, take care.